Take one more step. I can't remember what's inside the day. The years die. So fine, American pie. Take me to the lake. The levee was dry. And good drinking whiskey and rock. So this will be the day that I die. This will be the day that I die. That's the day that I die. Will be the day that I die. The day that I
Going with it. Do you ever do that with clients? Because that would be pretty funny.
I'm sorry, I got a little carried away. Oh, and then Robert Pendendelo, who also is AK Santa, a fan of my show, bless his heart. Because one day he's going to start his own show. He's going to expect me to be his fan. He's got it. Unless I want to be on the naughty list.
Who is our guest? Oh, that's Emily. Hi, Emily.
Hi.
Emily. Do you know who Robert is?
I do, of course. We go back. We go back to the early days of my HMI days.
All right.
Back in Michael Milson.
Yeah.
No, do you know why I said that so slowly?
Why?
Because most of us, it wasn't just me. I used to call him Michael Milton.
Oh, it's Milson.
Oh, I know. But I used to call him Michael Milton. And guess what?
Milton.
A lot of other people did. Not because I called him that. They just, they thought that was his name. Like, I don't know what it is, but something you inherently want to call him. Maybe it's like a past life with Milton, or I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. Okay,
I did get it right.
All right, hi everybody. My name is Isla Brock. This is Most Things Hypnosis, and today's January 26th. Oh, happy birthday, my sister. 2023. Today's show, we're going to talk about, I labeled it compassion, but that's just because the word that came to my mind. It might not even, we may never even touch compassion, okay? So I do have a special guest today. We'll get to her in just a minute. Her name is Emily Hyland. Did I say that right? You did. Hyland. And I'm going to give you her bio, but first, I always have a but first segment, people. I saw this cool quote. I just had it and I lost it. Where did it go? Well, I have a couple things. First of all, the quote, your limitations are yours. You decided you would have them. Don't shame others for your small box perspective. That was by somebody named Alicia. I thought that was pretty good. And another one I heard today, cheat codes. The cheat code for life is discipline. For Emily, it's focus. Staying on task, and the more you're on task, the more integrity you create, and the more integrity you create, the more respect you develop. But that was pretty cool. And then there is one that I found today. It just happened upon me, and I think it's going to be our segue for you today. As a matter of fact, I like it so much. I'm going to share my screen so everybody can see it, and we'll get into what we're gonna do today. I'm going to share my screen for just a moment. And we're going to see my, I don't even know how to expand this. How do I make that big? Oh, there it goes. Fear and faith both require that you believe in something you can't see. You choose. It's like, is that not brilliant or what? It's true. Fear and faith. Got to do something, something you can't see. All right. Yes, Santa.
To go back to your original point, Richard Bach in his book Illusions stated something to the effect of argue your limitations and you get to keep them.
Oh yeah. That's I like that. That's a good one.
Great.
That's
just
beautiful.
Quote that by memory? That's amazing. I actually have that book.
Yes,
too.
It hit me very hard. That book Illusions is mind blowing.
It is. I remember it from so long ago.
And yeah, that came out. I found the book actually at my high school. I found it on the ground, and that was back longer than I wanted to admit. So
a couple years ago.
That's cool.
It's a few minutes ago. Few minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a few minutes. He just found it today. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about Miss Emily. And if you'll let me, I will bring up her, I have a bio for her. Hang on. Okay. Listen up, folks. Emily Hyland is a certified clinical hypnotherapist and an honors grad of the AOS Mind Body Psychology program at HMI, which stands for Hypnosis Motivation Institute. And it's the only accredited college in the world. They say the first. They're not only the first, they're the only ones, because of the only college I ever find for specific for hypnotherapy that actually carries the .edu. No other hypnotherapy college that I've ever found, I've looked at hundreds, ever has the .edu. Look that up. Prove me wrong, people. Okay.
I will not.
She has a strong commitment to helping people better understand and navigate the mental, physical, and emotional compounds of their overall well-being. With her advanced training and certifications in hypnotherapy, Reiki, numerology, and with a special passion for helping those with ADHD, Emily has not only provided her clients with techniques to reduce stress, relieve physical pain, and improve personal relationships, but has also implemented long-term lifetime adjustments. When she's not in the office, Emily can often be found exploring the depths of her spiritual journey, facilitating expression through art and drumming. You see the drum set behind her. We'll get to that. Or enjoying the freedom of movement through yoga and dance. Emily believes that mental and physical health is a journey that should be filled with joy and possibilities. She looks to empower individuals to make positive changes in their lives and strive toward a place of balance and harmony. And welcome to my show.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. So last night she did a book club for an amazing book called The Relationship Strategy. I don't have it in front of me. It's back there. Or maybe it's over there. Oh, there it is. Yeah, we did a little book club thing. And I don't even know if she got to the chapter. I showed up a little late.
We did. Like, I forced some issues.
Yeah, but it's a great concept on relationships. And we may address it today, but we've only got 55 more minutes. So we'll get into this. But I asked Emily if she could come on the show. I thought she was just so much fun last night. It's like, gotta be here. I wanted to know what drives her, what's her compassion. Some of the things she said last night resonated with me, and I wanted everybody, my two fans, the one that watches live and the one that watches later, to see what an amazing woman she is.
You have a following. You really do. Amazing.
Sort of, but I'm working on it, and I just keep doing my show. Even if I'm the only one here, I still do it like I have 10,000 people in front of me.
I love that, and you should.
So I don't care. I just do it, and I just stare at the little green dot.
So you're further than I am.
I just look at the little green dot, and that's my audience.
I love it.
So anyway, there were some questions that we were talking about, or things that she addressed last night, and one of them was, she's been on this journey, educational journey, and you have one child at home.
Two.
And how old are they?
I have a 12-year-old who is on the spectrum. That would be autism, and I have a 5-year-old who just started school. And she is probably like her mom. I see a lot of ADHD in there, but I don't want to pre-label.
I know, a little bit of squirrel action there, huh?
A lot of energy, a lot of endless, boundless energy, which is one of the things I love most about myself.
There's your little mini me, right?
Exactly.
Is your 12-year-old or son or daughter?
Son.
Okay, so you have a 12-year-old son. No, and so you have, and you're a single mom.
Oh, I am single as they come, and I am as full-time as they come. So I have them all the time.
Right. So you're a full-time mom, and
I homeschool actually my 12-year-old.
Okay, and you're homeschooling. Okay, so there's that. I did that too for a few years way back, and that's no joke, folks. Homeschooling takes up, anyway. I was running my own business at the same time, and there were days when I would say, life skills day, get in the garage. We got to ship orders and stuff. So what I wanted to start with, what you had said last night is about, you kind of had this fear of just not doing your job. You've got all the confidence in the world working with people and helping them excel. But you have this fear of pushing yourself forward, being successful.
Yeah. And, it's interesting, especially with our training, we're taught, that one is somewhat preferable than the other, as opposed to fear of failure. I did not know that until I had my education at HMI. And I can understand how the fear of success is slightly more complicated. And coming from my perspective, it's very interesting because, you know, you can have all the training and education, the self-awareness, you can have it all. You can have therapy, you can have hypnotherapy, you can have, but the truth is there's just so much underneath the surface that is going to come up probably when it needs to come up. And, you know, one of the things I did love and learn from the AOS program was to look at these different triggers, and instead of getting afraid and running away, looking at them as like, oh, thank God, you're so obvious. You're this big red flag. Let me jump into you. And that's what I have done.
One of the things I want to, because people don't know what HMI is or AOS, and we're all from the same school. So
Yes.
just to clarify, HMI stands for Hypnosis Motivation Institute. It's a college for hypnotherapy exclusively, and it's in Tarzana, California. They have an online program, etc. And then AOS is Associates in Occupational Psychology, also taught as the second year in HMI. Go ahead, Santa.
Right.
You have a question?
Fear of success, fear of failure, imposter syndrome. You said fear of failure or fear of success is different than fear of failure. What are the differences between the fear of success, fear of failure, and imposter syndrome?
Well, that's a question we get to address. Thank
Yeah.
you. And then I'm going to come back to you and ask you your opinion. So be ready, Santa. Don't you dare go offline.
Well, before I forget my point that I was going with, because I did actually have a point that I was going.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No,
Go ahead.
not at all. I'm impressed that I even stayed on track there. But going back to the triggers, what's interesting is not long before this Zoom, I had told my son, my 12-year-old, that I was going to be doing this. Told him the topic. And this is what I was going to say, is that we don't know what's underneath the surface. Even if we're as self-aware as we possibly can be, we can't possibly know until it comes up. And that's what just happened right before this. I mean, I was telling my 12-year-old son, oh yeah, it's going to be on fear of success. And I was trying to explain to him the difference between fear of failure and fear of success, and why the fear of success and why my particular fear of success, what makes it that. And I just like, out of nowhere started crying and saying like, yeah, because I said, because the thing is, like, I think about, once I start and I let them all in, it's just going to be nonstop, because one person's going to tell another person. I mean, I've never been worried about the clients coming in. It's the being able to keep up, because it is a referral business. And I know I have the skill set, but I don't have the time. And see, here's the problem. I don't value money. That's a high fizz. I know your listeners don't know what a high fizz is, but it's somebody who doesn't maybe value money as their first priority. So I'm not motivated by money, but I know that it's time I don't even have as a single mom. So it makes sense, my fear of success, but it's not, I think I'm making it much bigger. And I think these triggers have to be looked at. And that's what just happened. I got so upset. I'm like, whoa, where'd this come from?
Well, wait till the end of the show and I have a question to ask you. Okay, I got to write that down so I don't forget. As people talk, I write down stuff so I don't forget, because I get so excited and then I end up, what was I going to think? And then, Mary Kay said the weakest ink is always better than the strongest memory. So we're going to come back to the differences between fear of success, failure, and imposter. I know imposter syndrome has that a doubt of our skills. Sometimes it's a doubt that I can do as well as, but the thing that we learned in hypnotherapy college, the client doesn't know what we don't know. So that modalities class that the director taught, you're the authority in the room. Period. So in your room right there with your drums, if I was to be there, you would be the authority, even though I was coming over for a cup of coffee. Last night I noticed myself wanting to jump into the leader biz part. That when I say biz, people, I'm just mean a high extrovert. That part of me that just wants to. It's like, back off, Isla. This is Emily's show. This is Emily's show. And I didn't know. I mean, but I caught myself, because that's what I tend to do. I just want to take over. So
Funny.
when you
Because I
see
never
me,
noticed that, because I'm a high fizz. So like I would welcome that. Maybe I don't notice that.
exactly. And I've been shot down at people's functions where I've been a guest, and then I kind of try to lead it. And I have to, and they were right. I mean, I didn't go there to lead their group or their program or anything. So one of the things about the imposter idea is our lack of our doubt that we can proceed to success. So let me ask you, you said that you don't have a problem with your confidence in what you do, but do you have any doubt about your actual success? Or do you believe you can be successful, period?
That's my problem. I know it's going to sound crazy. I know I will be successful. It will be so successful that I can't handle it. It's just too much.
Okay. So here's the thing. It's kind of what I've been going through for almost 2 years. And it's funny that this kind of came up, because I've learned some things in these last 2 years with that saying, I know I am successful, and growing success over and over again. I mean, I just doubled the size of my office. Who does that in a year and a half? So one of the things is I need to be busier to gain where I want to go, even though where I want to go may not have anything to do with what I'm doing.
Right.
I have to show universe what I'm doing.
Right.
But the cost of that, if I was single and didn't have anybody in my life, I'd have no problem with it. I'd just be practically living here and never even thinking about it twice. But because there's a man in my life and Santa, because there's Mike, I feel this sense of, I don't want to, what if I fuck it up?
Right.
It's like, because I'm too busy, and he's been so supportive, and he doesn't think that way at all. It's me. Right. So sometimes I think we limit our success based on how it's going to affect other people.
We do. And also because there's not a sense of honesty in relationships, because if we do talk about EMP, which we won't, but there is a sense of, there's someone that's kind of withholding things, and there's someone who's not withholding things. And there's not, like, sometimes you need that balance. You need a happy medium. You don't find that too often. So if someone's not being honest, and see, you're lucky because you know that there's honesty there, and you know that he's okay with you taking the time you need, and he'll speak up when he needs to spend more time with you. But sometimes, often, the other side won't. They'll just be quiet until they explode.
Exactly. Well, he's here hanging up pictures for me right now. He
See?
made me oatmeal, and he
that.
made me oatmeal and he made me oatmeal cookies. So I know he came here knowing that I'm busy. He just like, I can be here with you. And I'll go home in a couple of hours, and then we'll spend a few hours, probably playing cards or whatever. Just that downtime. But I like the time that I get to spend with him. I just, because he's retired. That's probably, you have children at home. It's not the same thing as retired, but in a tone, it could be like that. If you spend too much time working, you're not spending any time with your family.
And that's why I had the breakdown. That's why I cried right before this, because I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so used to doing everything on my own and somehow making it work. But adding that into the mix, it's like, how do I even do that?
It's like, and it's like children. I mean, great. Thankfully, my kids are like, my youngest is 28, so it's, and then I do have a grandson. I mean, although my grandson and my daughter live in Cambodia.
Wow.
But she's a missionary. But it's still, even if they were here, I wouldn't be able to spend as much time with them as I would like, or I'd have to schedule that. Everything you do has to be scheduled. my advice on that, first of all, is just everything I live by this. Everything I do
Where's my
is
calendar?
it's just it's in here. It's a 2-year planner, and it's funny because I started this, and then I walk into a workshop with Cheryl O'Neill, one of the instructors at HMI, and she's like, she's always done one of these books. She's old school. I'm like, I do the same thing. It's like, and then I told her there was I told her there was an actual 2-year calendar. She's like, oh, I got to find that. So
It's
like
so funny you say that, because as soon as you said 2 year, I was like, oh, they make a 2-year. I mean, I didn't know
I
that.
talked to the company, and I like this. I just wish it had a blank page in between every week so I can take notes of what's going on that week,
Right.
as opposed to that way I don't lose it.
Well, that's what
And
I've done
then-
with my own calendar, because I'm ADHD. So I sometimes we need more things. And I've made like I made like little envelopes, not, the post on, because the organizers don't have that. The calendars don't have that. So
Yeah.
you have to acclimate and create your own kind of pouches and
Right.
paste on.
So my daughter's working on the perfect calendar for me. She does
keep
it.
me posted.
Gracious. Oh yeah. Well, as soon as it's done, I told her, it's like, this is going to be big,
Yeah.
because you've got the calendar. If I have to go to a 1 year, but this is 1 week right here. There's a blank page. So when you go to so I have a blank page for this.
Oh my
side
God,
to
you just
write
turned in
on.
May 26th. The next day is my son's birthday. That's so funny.
Oh, I just grabbed a page. And then on this, and then it's like, there's another blank page here.
Right.
There's a blank page in between every week.
I love
it just
that.
helps. It's like someplace, because when I get phone calls, I
love
grab
that.
whatever's handy to talk, and then I have to remember to put that in my calendar.
Exactly. That's what we all do. I do it. I mean,
Yeah.
really.
I don't.
I think this is one of the hardest things. I don't want to go off a tangent because I could talk forever about ADHD, but I think it's not for just ADHD people, but specifically, we have to be organized, and we need things like that. That page that separates is where we're going to put everything. I mean, when you have a thought about this, you have an idea for this, like it's got to go.
And when, and you'll know when it
place.
occurred. I've learned to date everything I know. Anytime I take notes, I'm on the phone, I'm watching TV, I'm reading something. Every piece of paper has a date on it.
That's a great idea.
It's up in the corner. I want to know when I wrote that.
I love that.
So yeah, even today's notes, I have a date on the back, because this whole piece of paper for today. If I keep it, I'll know when I did what. So let's go back to the
downloading that I'm like, okay, that's a good one.
I'll go over my notes with you later. So do you have any fear of failure? Do you have fear of failing your children?
With my time, with not having enough time. Yes.
Okay. And do you have, so you don't, no fear of success. You have no doubt about your.
No, I do.
I'm sorry. You don't have, you are successful. I don't think it's fear of success as much as fear of losing time.
Yes.
It's like success is there. You have it in your mind. It's already there. You're resisting it.
Yes.
Because if I don't put the time into my kids, because you only get this one shot, your children are, your 12-year-old's half grown.
Yeah.
More than half grown. And then your 5-year-old's 4 years, she'll be half grown. Yeah. So it's like you have this short period of time.
So much to me. It really does. It really matters so much to me.
Yeah. And so if you're able to just, are you able to think part-time?
Yeah.
Can you do this? What is part-time to you? How many hours a week is part-time to you?
That's why I don't know if it's, to be honest, that's why I guess it's really never resonated with me that this would be my full-time all-day job, because I want to help so many more. And I can't do that with my circumstance right now. So, seeing one client a day or seeing 2 clients a day, that's just not, it's
not enough.
It's helping a few people, because that's how I see it. I don't see it as money. I see it, okay, I'm helping a few people.
Oh, you get to make a little coin, but you're helping people. That's the priority.
Yeah.
So it's something. It's helping a couple people here and there. It's
But I
just
see it
not
on a
enough.
larger scale. I don't know what it is yet, but I see something.
Well, I'm not empathic. I'm intuitive. And the first thing that just popped to my mind when you said that was you should be doing seminars.
Right.
You can do an all-day seminar once or twice a week and gain and make a little coin at it, the knowledge, helping others in a larger scale. For now, let them contact you. Like Joe never asks if you want. I've seen Joe as an instructor where he went. I've seen him as a client a couple of times. He never says, so do you want to make another appointment? And then he said, he conveyed it in one of his classes. I never ask if they want to make another appointment. They'll call me when they do. And that's how you could treat or consider the idea that I'm going to do these group seminars, summits, workshops. You don't have to charge a lot of money. It's just
I've gotten these visions
people
before, so it's funny you're saying this.
Yeah, but if people have a little bit of skin, even $25, it means something. And then if they want to have a session with you, they will reach out.
Right.
You only have to put one sentence in your workshop at any given time.
Yeah,
if you're interested in one-on-one guidance, give me a call. Done. That's your only upsell. It's your only caveat. It's your only advertising of you. Everything else is the workshop.
Yeah, that I've gotten this vision before about doing seminars or doing, and I don't know why I've been so resistant against it, but because it just keeps coming up, and it's just so funny that you bring that up, because it is down to the point. I just can't possibly help all the people that I know I can help.
Right, but in a workshop,
one-on-one.
you get 50. Yeah, one-on-one, it's one at a time. And I even lowered my rates, rock bottom. I've never been this low.
See, that's the problem. My rates are going to be really high because I have to be. I'm not motivated by money.
So I had made mine really high.
Yeah.
Thinking, when those people I was attracting and everything's fine. I read something in this book here, the Life Reframing and Hypnosis by Milton Erickson. There's a section towards the beginning in the foreword or something like that. It talks about how he helped so many people, right? And more people and more people. And it was like, the whole point was the Walmart concept: buy it for $1, sell it for $2.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, you know what? If I went down from $350 a first session to $250, so it's $125 an hour for, example, instead of $145 an hour here where I'm at, it was $165 to $185 an hour in Woodland Hills,
right?
Where I was in LA. I can help more people, but I am also attracting the $125 crowd as opposed to $300 crowd.
Right.
It's what it's like, I can help more people. It's like, it gets more people into my office. I want the more people. And so
right.
I don't have a problem charging $300 a session, and I'll get the people. I just won't have as many.
Right.
So it's like, what did I want? So I played with all the different numbers for almost 2 years now. And so far, the 125 seems to be helping, although there's some people they balk at. It's like, I'm not doing this for value, honey. I'm doing this for quality.
Right. No,
right?
Seriously, yeah. We talked about this last night, that it's disheartening to see so many that graduated from such a prestigious college who aren't valuing their time.
Yeah. And they undercut people that do. They're undercutting. If you have a brand new hypnotherapist that isn't charging over $100 a session now, right out the gate,
right?
It's like, well, if they're only charging $95, why are you charging $300? It's like,
I mean, it doesn't have to go. You can't gouge people. It's not that that's gouging people, but I mean,
there's value,
right? You have to have the right intention.
The quality of value. Yes, Santa.
Yeah. And you have to, and to me, like I said last night, that nobody knows about because they weren't there last night, but it's not, you don't have to look at it as money. It's just an exchange of energy. It's just
it's energy. That's all it is.
And that's how I look at it. That's why I don't have a problem.
No.
At all making money.
Go ahead, Robert.
the thing, don't short sell yourself, because as a professional Santa Claus, we have a lot of Santas, and this is a big topic in the Santa community. How much should I charge? Are people going to pay that? I'm to the point now, I don't care. It's $250 for a half-hour party. If I have to stay a little bit over, not a big deal. We have some Santas that charge $450 for a 15-minute visit, and an additional $450 for even 1 minute over that.
Wow.
And he's booked all season long. Me, I'm turning away people numerous times. I try to, someone, I can't accommodate them because I've already been booked. I try to find another Santa for them. And I've told Santas, charge this much, they'll pay it. And this is higher than their rates. And are you sure? And I'm like, just do it and don't bat an eyelid, because there are plenty of people out there. You get some people, if you do something for free, they're always going to want it for free.
Right.
But if you do it for a low price, they're going to take you up on it.
Right.
But
And in addition to that, you're contributing to the effectiveness of whether that hypnotherapy session is gonna be, successful. Because if you're already second guessing your value, you're not instilling any faith in them that you know what you're doing and that you're worth that. I mean, frankly, if I saw someone charging like $1,000, for a session, obviously I would not go to them. But I mean, I'm a human, and there's something in me that would think, well, they've got to know what they're doing. They got to be successful. They're not, I mean, they can't, what are they like, doing that once or twice and skipping town? No, I mean, so it is all about belief in yourself. And that is, in this society, money talks, and that is how you value
yeah,
yourself.
money is great, because if I was back in LA, I wouldn't have a problem going back to whatever it was I was doing.
And there are a lot of people that when I tell them what my price, the $250 for half, they don't even bat an eyelid. They're just like, okay, no problem. Other people are like, well, I'm not going to pay that. And then this is where my stuff kicks in. Being in the groups that I'm in, I am insured and I have a current background check. And I can't tell you how many people, once I tell them, make sure whoever you hire has a current background check, suddenly I become affordable.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I got a feeling there. I got a feeling there. So yeah, that's effective.
It makes a big difference.
It does.
Okay,
and
so
with HMI, the thing with HMI, when they had that 6 months of internship, that's where we got to learn what to do, how to do it,
right,
put up with things. That's where we built our value.
Right.
As a professional Santa Claus, I've been to numerous schools. We go to monthly meetings, webinars, seminars, video sessions, schools, classes, whatever you name. We do that all year long just for that 6 weeks. And people think it's a weird thing we do 6 weeks out of the year. They have no idea how much goes into what we do.
And it's funny, right out of the gate, when I started my internship at HMI, my very first client charged him $150 because that's what I was charged. I didn't know any better, and neither did they, and they paid it. I probably had more paying clients during my internship than pro bonos, which is fine. Okay, so I gave you some questions earlier today.
Yes.
To think about. I don't know, did you have a chance to pontificate on them? Okay, so what would happen if you were to become successful? If you did become successful?
It would cost me time.
Well, what would happen if you did? It's all positive.
Yes.
Not cost. What would happen if? And then I've had the same problem trying to ask these questions. What will happen if you did become successful?
It would create opportunity and help a lot of people.
Create opportunity and help a lot of people. What would happen if you don't do your hypnotherapy job?
The guilt would be insurmountable. It would bury me alive. Yeah, I couldn't take this amazing skills and knowledge and just do nothing with it. No.
Right. Okay, the next one's the tricky one of the next two. What won't happen if you do your hypnotherapy job to success? It's okay.
It's hard to say because you don't know the future, but if
Make
this,
it up.
if this is about a fear of what would happen, then
No, this is about what won't happen if you do. Do is the positive. What won't happen if you do become that success you know you are? What won't happen?
what won't happen is that guilt that that
Okay. You won't have the guilt of not being able to help people.
right.
What else won't happen?
I won't disappoint my kids in showing
You
them.
won't,
I
you
will
won't
not.
disappoint.
I will not
Okay.
disappoint my kids because I'll be showing them that I
Grit.
believe in something. I was passionate and I followed through.
Right. Where's Steve Harvey when you need him?
Right.
What won't happen if you don't do this?
A lot of stuff. A lot of good stuff won't happen.
Like what?
Like helping a lot of people, like the things that I don't see yet, but I know are happening or going to happen that are big. And my mission, and why I'm here. It's not,
Okay.
the mother role is so important, but it isn't my only reason that I'm here. I do have a mission.
You do, you won't be able to do your mission. Yeah, if you
They're
don't
part of my
get it.
mission,
Yeah.
but there's
Were
another
those,
part of my mission.
were those questions helpful?
Yeah, they were.
Okay. Now, how do you know if resisting is a problem?
If I usually if I'm uncomfortable with something, I know it's a problem. That's my warning flag that I'm resisting something. And usually if I'm resisting something, it's usually something I probably should be doing.
Okay, so you're uncomfortable. Are you uncomfortable being a hypnotherapist?
No, but it still goes back to the time. I see it as units of time. It's almost like that movie Fight Club where he sees everything in like increments of 15
Mhm.
minutes, like everything is units of time. And that's how I see it. Because I just don't get any time to myself. And I think that's probably the major and first issue that I need to like incorporate in my life, because it really is, and this is what I want to teach my clients is this balance.
Yeah, well, here's something to consider. I just thought of this. I don't have any time to myself. How charged up are you when you get to see a client?
I do love it.
Isn't that time for yourself too, to enjoy it?
Yeah, that you're right. I never thought
It's
about
like that could be your time that, you know, because I have 3 clients on Saturday and they're back to back. I'm looking forward to that 3 client back to back. They're like 30 minutes in between. I'm
Right.
just like, oh my gosh, this is every day that I get to have, you know, more than three or more clients. It's like, and I'm pumped.
Right.
I can't sleep. I'm excited. It's for me too.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you go into any kind of trance when you put somebody in hypnosis. I tend to.
No, I don't, but I've always felt very good giving. I'm a giver.
Yeah.
And that's been one of the things I've had to learn. And that's been the journey I had to go on, even through the AOS program, is learning boundaries.
And you're giving to others, but at the same time, you get to enjoy the fruits of your labor while you're giving it to them.
Right.
It's like putting that little foot in the river, watching the sea part, if you will.
Yeah.
And knowing that you schedule the time, you'll have to schedule the time with your kids. I want to see you get out there and just be that. I can say I knew her when she was that big.
That's funny. I love that.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's what's been kind of
yes.
scary for me is that those have been the visions I've seen, and that just feels like a lot. But
Well, hang on a second. Go ahead, Santa.
Okay, a couple questions for Emily, taken from the question list that we give to our clients. What does success look like to you? And how will you know you found it, that you've become successful?
You got ahead of me,
it's so
Santa.
funny because everything that we talk about, there's in my head, there's this filter that goes through like, oh, this is E and this is P and it's but it's not. But I feel like, see, this is something that I would attribute to like a fizz. Sorry, I keep referencing because I love it so much, the model. Of course, I success to me is happiness and connection, and connecting people. And that's something that I've always been passionate about from as long as I can remember of you being alive. Is I've always been a connector, not connecting people, but not even having anything to do with me necessarily. So
Mhm.
I love bringing people together. And I love connecting people. And I feel like that is kind of the point in this life is that connection. So,
Okay, let's go to some scaling questions. On a scale of 0 to 10, 10 representing your desired outcome has been realized. 0 is the total opposite. Where are you at today
as far as success,
in your business?
oh, 0. I mean, like
You're
none. I
0.
haven't, I've, my daughter just started school last week.
Okay. Okay.
So,
How do you know it's not a 1?
well, I guess it could be 1 if you count, if you were looking at like the 12-step program, like, I'm admitting that I have a business, that,
And you do nothing for it. No.
hey, the city is already trying to get $3,500 from me. They think yeah, because I didn't, you do this, the city tax,
Yeah, mine's only $41 where I'm
I know, but I
at.
never filed. You have to file and say you made no money or whatever you have to file. I was
Right.
a student. So anyway, so
Okay, so you admit you're admitting that you have this resistance. Okay, so is
yeah.
it a 1 or a 4 or a 2?
My resistance,
No,
oh,
your desired outcome.
uh yeah, I mean, we're definitely low, like 1.
A 1. Okay.
Yeah.
And what would 2 look like?
2 would, yeah, it would be like a couple clients a week, I guess.
Okay. It's interesting because some people answer that it looks like $700 a week, or it's like I
See,
like how
this
you
is the
said,
problem. I don't
yeah,
this is I don't care about money. I
and
need
it's
to care
not a
about money. I
problem.
don't care about
Yeah,
money.
no, it's not. It's never going to be a problem. It's how you view it, which is perfect. It's some people will view it this way, and they're not wrong, and you view it this way, and you are not wrong. This is
There is
absolute
no right
truth.
or wrong. I agree.
No. Um, let's see.
But what am I
So
teaching
are
my
you
kids?
seeing clients? Are you seeing clients now
No,
at all? Okay.
no. I just, in fact, Terry Marks Tarlow, one of the instructors, in the AOS program, her daughter's doing my website. So I have to reach back to her. So that's being developed right now. So I'm taking steps. That's why I gave myself the 1, because like taking steps to, now that my daughter's finally in school, that was the game
And
changer
then,
right
okay.
there,
So now, how many hours is she in school?
from 8 until 2:30.
Okay, so until 2:30. Okay.
But
And
I
you're
also homeschool my son, so that's why it's complicated.
okay. Is he in sports?
No,
Is he going to go in sports?
no,
No.
no.
Why not? I'm just
He's
curious.
not into sports.
He's not a sporty
He's
guy.
like into tech and computers and
Nerd.
yeah.
He's a nerd. I'm a nerd.
Yeah, I am too. I love
So
it.
imagine the magic wand, as I said, what does your life look like with the magic wand? No money, money obviously is no object. Anything you can possibly imagine, what does that magic wand look like? That ideal magic, if I could just poof and you have it, what is it?
Hmm. An assistant.
An
That's what I need.
assistant.
That's what I need. I need an assistant.
All right. And how many hours a week?
Maybe starting with 10, but maybe 20.
10 to 20. So
Mhm.
I got a couple of words about that, mind you. I have had 4. And I let one go because they stole from me.
Ew.
And I decided that I would never hire a hypnotherapist to be an assistant
Hmm.
because I have no competition with any hypnotherapist ever. I don't,
Right.
but I also don't want them stealing my clients.
Oh, I see. I thought you meant money.
No, if I
That's
had a
yeah.
hypnotherapist, like even an intern, I don't mind they want to come in and if I wanted them to hired them to work for me and just did some of my files as far as my scripts or anything other than they can't touch my client files.
Right.
Those are off limits. I don't want them to
Yeah,
look at them.
I
I
agree.
don't want them to know that they exist.
Yeah, no,
Those
I
are for
need like
my,
a personal assistant in my life. Like I need,
yeah,
as a single
yeah.
mom, I need someone to help
You
me.
need a nanny.
Yeah,
You need
I do. I need a nanny.
a nanny, no a pair. Yeah. Okay, so there's that. Now, have you ever written down a SMART goal? Do you know what a SMART, have you ever heard of the SMART goals? Oh, Emily,
Mhm.
no. Have you done the SMART, S-M-A-R-T? Have you heard of them?
No, it was this in the first year program.
It's an NLP thing. Here, let me,
See, I have not been able to take NLP because it is not something that I've begged them. I've begged them if they could add it into the curriculum and we could pay
SMART,
extra.
S-M-A-R-T.
Yeah.
S stands for specific,
Okay.
M is measurable, A is achievable,
Mhm.
R is realistic,
Mhm.
reasonable, and T is timetable.
Hmm.
So imagine you have a goal. Okay. Let me just write this for you. Oh, no, that's not it. P and G. Okay, this is backwards, but P stands for present day. Let's be like today. And this is the goal, G for goal. Okay.
Okay.
Give me a small goal that you want to achieve, just something small.
Okay. Getting outside in nature every day with my kids.
Every day, 7 days a week.
Yeah. Are we doing it business related or professional?
Whatever you want. A small personal goal or small business goal, just something small.
Yeah.
We'll get to the big ones.
No. Actually, there's no difference. It would be the same one. Getting out in nature heals me. It heals my kids. It's what we need every day. And it will help me professionally. So it absolutely connects.
So out in nature. So that's a goal, out in
Yeah.
nature. Okay. Today is the 26th of January. When would you like to accomplish that goal? Give me a date. A month from now, 6 months from now?
Meaning it will have been done every day at that point. Like, yeah.
Or
Okay.
yeah, where you notice, wow, this is happening. What? Give me a date. Make it up.
February 15th.
February 15th. Okay, so by February 15th, you will be going this year, right? Or next year? Okay.
This year.
Being very specific.
Yes.
Okay, so by February 15th, which is just in a couple of weeks, you will have achieved the goal. Now, I want you to imagine it's February 15th today, right now. And you're out in nature with your kids and you're walking around. It's in the, mid-afternoon after your daughter gets home from school, because it's a Wednesday, February 15th is. And you're walking around and it kind of dawns on you, wow. And this is February 15th now. It's like, wow, I've been doing this every day for a week.
Mhm.
Imagine that. Okay, now holding that, I want you to also imagine, and I want you to make this up. You're just imagining and making it up. What was the thing that happened just before you realized you'd been doing this? The last piece of the puzzle that actually happened to know that you were realizing this goal.
On the 15th?
Or before the 15th, what was the last thing that happened to know that you're getting to your goal? What was the one thing that happened just before? It could have been a day before, that day, a week before.
Yeah.
The
I don't know if
time,
this
that part of the
counts.
timeline.
Yeah, I don't know if this counts, but this what came to my mind is seeing my kids staying at the door waiting for me because like Pavlov's bell or something, like they've been trained at that point and they're just waiting at the door.
Okay, so what happened just before that image comes up? What was the last thing that happened before seeing your kids at the door?
I don't know what you mean. I mean, I can see them and I can see like the sunlight coming through the
Right, so
window.
what was going on prior to seeing them at the door? Day before, week before, whatever, some timeline before you actually noticed them at the door? What was the timeline that you like, oh wow, I did this. I started scheduling this in my book or whatever. Or maybe that's what you started to do. I don't know, I'm just throwing that out there. That I was scheduling this in my book. Oh, now look, I'm seeing my kids at the door. Oh, look, I'm outside in the nature. I've been
Right.
doing it for a week. Maybe you were scheduling it.
I don't know.
We're gonna
It
for
was just
the
that moment of seeing them by the door waiting for me.
okay. Well, there's also something that happened prior to you
It was
seeing them at
getting
the
ready, I
door,
guess, to go.
getting ready to go, but it could
Am I
have
being too literal
something
right now? I think I'm being too literal.
maybe, which is fine. And that's great because I'm writing that down. So what was going on prior to getting ready and seeing him at the door? Where were you in life to get to the point where you're getting ready to go out the door? Was it, like I said, was it scheduling these? You start to notice, I'm going to be scheduling these out starting, Monday. I'll be scheduling, or Sunday.
Yeah, that's what
I'm
I
gonna
mean
start.
by like seeing my kids by the door. Like it's this realization, like, wow, this is like our life now. Like this is like they know that we're gonna go out. I know I can see them by the door, and it's just like this kind of wonderful moment that this has now become part of our routine.
Right. So when did you
It's just
decide it?
something that's in our life now.
Between the February 15th going back to January 26th, when you decided this, what was going on to allow you to know that it was a part of your life?
I don't know.
Pretend like you do.
I'm so confused by the question. I don't know why I can't get it.
I'm trying to, and it's like that, I'm trying to get you backward steps. So basically what I'm doing, I'm just going to throw in scheduling
Like,
just
do
to
you want to know, like, if I
obviously.
was making dinner? Was I like
Well,
cleaning?
this is between now and 2 weeks from now. So everything that's happened the 2 weeks prior, from February 15th to January
So
26th,
my mood, what my
all the
mood would
events that
be.
took place
Mhm.
to get you there.
Right.
What was all going on? So somewhere you had to throw in a scheduling time. And before you started scheduling, you had to make a decision. And before you made a decision, you got on Isla's crazy show and she was asking you these crazy questions. So my
Yeah, I
point
guess I
is,
envisioned like, that the kid time would be when I pick my daughter up, at 2:30, and I just whisk my kids off for the next couple hours, and we just enjoy
okay,
each other and enjoy being out in nature. And that's something I guess I want to create for my
okay.
kids and myself.
Does this show up backwards or frontwards?
Reverse engineer SMART goal. No, it's frontwards. I
Okay.
mean, it's normal.
So you're basically taking your goal, which is on the right, because that's all the future, and on the left is your present day.
Right.
You've decided a specific goal. Be very specific about it. It's reasonable, it's measurable, it's realistic. I'm not looking for $1 million tomorrow. Some people try to say that. It's like, okay, that's not going to happen.
Oh, my
And then
25
you have a
million's up
date.
there.
It's like you have a date, a timetable of
Yeah.
where you're expecting this to take place. By this time, it will have been taking place. I want to do this nature walk 7 days a week. So I'm going to be in it. I'm going to pretend like I'm there now. I'm in it in my head. I see it. My kids are at the door. All the steps that you did to get to that point, you go back to January 26th and look at all the steps that it took to get to where you are on February 15th. Now you've engineered a goal. And
Mhm.
now you have the evidence to achieve the goal. If you
Right.
try to do it going forwards to backwards, you'll miss a step because we tend to just make stuff up, which is fine, but we're not making up the measurable, realistic reality. We're making up just to get rid of the exercise. No, we're going to
Exactly.
engineer this goal backwards. You can do that with your clientele. A goal to see 15 clients a week. That's my goal. By what time? September 1st. Okay, what was the last thing? Now we're on September 1st. What was the last thing that happened to know that you've achieved that goal? Blah, blah, blah. What was the last thing that happened before you knew you achieved that goal? Yada, yada, yada. What
Right.
was the last thing? You go backwards for every moment because your little mini wins created the goal. You're already there in your mind in the goal.
Exactly.
Also, not just NLP, but law of attraction. But
And
I do
why,
this when
yeah,
I
and why am I thinking it was a Cheryl or was it, I don't even know who said it. It was just recently where they said you have to, when you're setting goals, if you're a fizz, right, you can have very specific goals, but if you're emo, you have to be careful. You have to frame it the right way because then when that date comes and they don't get it accomplished, then they're like, and it's like,
Well, then
wait,
this is what I say because I teach the mental bank and the law of attraction,
right.
and I'm talking to both the fizz and the emos.
Yeah, I can't remember.
If you guys want to know what that is, go to testmyrelationship.com and watch the video. So anyway, but what I'll say is, let's say your goal is $100,000 for the year, and we'll go through that conversation, right? Blah, blah, reverse engineer, yada, yada. But what if at the end of the year, you've only accomplished 80,000? Have you failed? And I want every one of them to say no.
Right, of course.
Because they were only making 50,000, for example, when they started the goal. And now their goal is to double it, but they only got to 80. Did
Right.
you fail? No. Did you learn something? Yes. Did you not do enough of what you needed? No, I didn't do enough of blah, blah, blah to get to the, okay, so what do you think we'll do? Now that you're at 80,000 for this year, let's double that instead of the 50. Now let's go for 160. The chances of them making it the second year are very high. But let's say they fall short and they only do 130. Have they failed? I mean, I go through those scenarios in case there's an emo in the group to let them know no matter what their success is, it's success.
Right.
And it's measurable.
Right.
And did they do everything they set out to do to accomplish that? And typically when you don't reach your goal, it's because you missed something and you know consciously what that miss was.
Yeah, and I think the most important thing is actually having a measurable, evidence, because that is really, and even going back to what Santa had said before, about even imposter syndrome, it's about having that
confidence.
Yeah, and you don't get it by hoping
Sitting
and
on your
wishing, and
ass.
you have to just do it. That's
You do,
what
and
they
then
don't
you have
tell
to,
you.
there's time, and it's like you got to set a specific time. So one of the issues that I had when I first started reopened my office here in Visalia, I was only in the office when I had a client, and I just work from home. I'll just work from home. But what I was doing at home is I'd do a little bit of work, and then Mike's retired, so every day is a day off for him. So I'm like, I felt this obligation that I just needed to be there with him all the time. And it's like, you know what? I can't do that. I got to be independent. I got to be able to make this work. So I'll spend more time at the office. And then I was spending a little more time. But what was I doing here? Same thing I was doing at home. Taking naps, watching TV, eating, making some phone calls, doing whatever. Okay, now I got to be serious. I'm physically here at my business. Now what am I going to do? So I got to make it grow. And then the opportunity to be in this building came up, but I was knocking it out of the wind last year like crazy on my clientele, and just people didn't know me a year before. Now people are getting to know who I am.
Right.
It's nice when I say, here's my card, hypnotherapy. Oh, I saw you on, social media.
So
I'm
cool.
like,
I love that.
oh, no. So it's not a lot. I've had it a couple of times, and it does make me feel good that I've done something. So now it's taking it to the next level. It's taking the chance. Now you have children, and it is different than having a partner. So your children aren't going to not love you because you're busy. They're
Yes,
going to
they
feel
will. They don't.
You'll always love them. You'll always show them love. They're your kids. They're just
No,
always
me,
gonna be.
yes. I thought you meant then they won't love me if I don't.
No, it's always they're your kids. There's never a chance that you're gonna diss them or anything like that. You'll die for them. My issue now is, and I've talked this over with Mike, is what if we don't get along because I'm too busy? I'm afraid I'll lose him, but
Mhm.
not because he would leave, but because I separated from him. I'm like, I can't imagine that. So I don't want to put that in the air, but it's almost like I've been too busy, and I've been through a divorce
Right.
where we just separated, and I had my own business where he didn't help me at all. And that's what helped us survive. And
Right.
now I'm in a position where I have so much help. I'm so not used to it. It's like
Yeah.
we need to duplicate Michael somewhere. But it's having that knowledge. Now I have to be here because I want to be here.
Right.
And I've been working all day, and there was about an hour earlier. I didn't see any clients today. I just been busy all day. There's about an hour where I've been just sitting on the computer doing stuff. I need to go take a nap. And then Mike's like, I need your help. Okay. Got up, and it's like 4 o'clock or something. I'm like, okay, I got a show to do. I got to finish putting my makeup and doing my hair and such. So it's like, I've just been busy.
Yeah.
And it's a good busy. Guess Santa.
Yeah, I'm reminded of what you're talking about now with a client I had who told me when I asked him, he wanted to calm down, slow down and all that. And I asked him, then why don't you rest? And he said, rest is resistance.
Sometimes.
Well, to him, that's what it was.
Yeah, and that could be a problematic because you have to have rest so your body can regenerate to give you what you need the next day.
Yes, but
but that seems to be the running theme with most people. A lot of clients is we're burning the candle both ends, and there's not another end to burn, but we're somehow doing it. There's just not, and we're not taught how to relax. We're not taught how to take time for ourselves.
Oh no,
So look at my fear of success. I'm so terrified. I had no time to myself, and now you're gonna take away time I don't even have. Like, nobody's taking time away from you. Talking to myself.
Right.
Preaching
to the choir here, sister.
Right.
Listen, my time is up. This has been a great show. We have to do this again.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop recording, everybody. Thank you so much for being a part of it.
This is great.
Stay in line for a second.
Yeah.
Love everybody. And I'll be back next Thursday with another fabulous show. I don't know what it's about yet, but I'll get there during the week. Take care, everyone. Thank you so much for being part of this. Okay. Stop. File will be converted. And what is the end? Oh, we need to go out and come back in.
Okay.
So Emily, go out and then come back in. Take care, Santa.
All
Thank
right.
you for joining.
Bye.
Bye.